Okay, so I think I have a pretty good idea here. I'm just gonna run it by you guys real quick before we get into the main topic of the video. I think here in Indiana, we should build a gulag. And I'm not talking like Call of Duty, you go around pew pew pew. No, I'm talking about an actual gulag, like a communist one, where they take their political dissidents and put it in there and they do labor, like a prison. If you don't know what political dissidence means, it's basically their enemies, their political enemies that they don't like, people they don't like. They put them in a gulag and they do physical labor. And what I think we should do here in Indiana, we should make a gulag, make anybody who thinks this Paul George bullcrap is real, make them go in the gulag. I think that's a pretty good idea because it's obvious Paul George is lying to you, and you guys don't even realize it. This is the same man who said he was a Lakers fan, like ever since he came into the NBA, and then as soon as he joins the Clippers, he says, "Oh no, I was a Clippers fan all along, guys. Please love me. Please give me millions of dollars and the ball at all moments. Let me shoot every shot. Well, I'm not going to be a leader at all for you in the locker room. In fact, I'm going to be more of a Carmelo Anthony and be a locker room cancer. And then when the playoffs come around, unless this is 2013, when the playoffs come around, I'm going to score like 9 points per game and like one assist, one rebound, and shoot like 20% from three and 20% from the field and call myself playoff P because, let's go, Paul George. Yeah, all the way. I am disappointed in my younger self for even supporting Paul George. Back then, we thought he was, Indiana loyal. I would say he led us to the Eastern Conference Finals, but it's not like he was the only guy there. David West, George Hill, Roy Hibbert, Lance Stevenson. We had some good players on the team. It wasn't just Paul George. Paul George says, oh, they didn't want to freaking win. So I was like, get me out of here. Paul George, did you not? Has your brain turned to mush? They said they didn't have enough money. Okay, I do. Okay, maybe you guys just don't know how money works. You can't make money appear out of thin air. When we when they say they don't have enough money, that means they can't afford him. They literally cannot sign him. If Paul George was really all about winning, wouldn't he have taken a pay cut? He was eligible for a contract extension. Wouldn't he have pitched to them, hey, what if I take a big pay cut? I'll get a contract extension. I'll take a big pay cut if you guys sign this other guy. They probably would have done it. And you're going to say, well, they could trade people. Who are they going to trade? It's 2016. No one's going to want to trade for Al Jefferson unless they're going to give us another guy that also takes up cap space. Nobody's going to take Jeff Teague. At least in a trade for a younger, less expensive player. Miles Turner, at this point, he's a rookie. He's on his rookie contract. He's cheap. Joe Young's cheap. George Hill's not on the team. George Hill was on the team in 2015 and then left. He got out of there. Yeah, if you can give me an example of a player that a team would have taken for a younger or just a less expensive player, it was like some type of trade, please inform me. Because as far as I know, it wouldn't have happened. I don't think One, I don't think Paul George knows how money works. Two, I think he's a massive hypocrite. And three, you guys are all stupid for thinking that he's telling the truth. Either that or you just haven't been dealing with Paul George's crap like we have for the past 7 or 8 years. I know you guys aren't stupid. You just aren't informed. Okay? Don't get too mad. Just not informed. Now let me inform you. Again, the dude lies all the time. He just wants attention. Reason I think he's a hypocrite, he talks about, oh, I want to win championship, please let me build around me, or get someone with me, yeah, I want to win it, I want to win, when really, he only wants money, he's not even a leader. Okay, the guy is not a leader. He may lead the team in scoring, but he's not an emotional leader. He's not a leader in the locker room, he's not a leader out on the court, he just scores points. That's all he does. He scores points. That's all he does. And then, when the playoffs roll around, he sucks. Absolutely sucks. Terrible. Ever since he left Indiana, he sucked even worse in the playoffs. Just terrible. Everyone got on DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry for not performing in the playoffs a couple years ago. How come nobody really got on Paul George? I've seen a couple people. Like one YouTuber I saw who got on Paul George was Urinating Tree. But like that was really the only YouTube channel that I saw get on Paul George for sucking in the playoffs. It's just I'm speechless. Completely speechless. I met Paul George when I was a little kid. He got drafted. I met him at a little like meetup thing after a game. I was like 5. I met him. I got my picture taken with him and stuff. And ever since then, he's my favorite player. And I remember always checking, like, we get that contract extension worked out. Is he gonna come back next year? Can we get Paul George? And then he just demands a trade. From that moment on, I said, Paul George is never going to win a championship. Ever. When they traded for Domas and Vic, I was one of the few people who supported that trade. So far, I have a pretty good freaking track record. I said Paul George was going to suck after he left the Pacers. He sucked. Wasn't even an all-star this year. I said Vic was going to be an all-star. He was an all-star. I said Sabonis was going to be good. Sabonis is good. I said the Pacers were going to be a playoff team that year. Pacers were a playoff team. This season, I said this is a season where we do good. 76ers are a lower seed than us. The Heat, we're going to beat them. I don't care. We're going to beat them. We're going to go to the second round. Watch it happen. So I know you guys are all going to hate on me in the comments. You don't know anything about Paul George. I kind of do. I was there when they went to the Eastern Conference Finals. I was there when he got drafted. I wasn't there. But, like, I watched. I dealt with him for all those years. All the disappointment. Losing to the Heat. Losing to the Heat again. Losing to the Hawks. Not making the playoffs. Losing to the Cavs in 4. Getting screwed over by the refs in 7 games. Victor Oladipo playing his butt off out there. And the refs just always calling it in LeBron's favor. And Pacers getting no respect. I'm allowed to speak on. In fact, Pacers fans are really the only people who are allowed to speak on this, because we've dealt with this guy for the longest. We supported him when he came back from his injury. We never once well, maybe some people doubted him, but mainly we believed in him a lot. We helped him a lot. And this is how he repays us. Lying. And making it look like it's the owner's faults. The typical Paul George way. Snaking out of any possible blame. When CJ Miles missed a game winner, 2016 playoffs against the Cavs, CJ Miles misses a game winner. Press conference afterwards, Paul George says, yeah, there was time for him to give me the ball. I could have shot that and I could have won the game. Now, it's not what he directly said. I can't remember what his exact words were, but it was along the lines of there was time for him to pass the ball to me. It was in the 0 point somethings. I think 0.7 seconds was how long it was when CJ Miles had the ball. So no, Paul, there was not enough time for you to have the ball. If he passed it to you and it was rushed, could have gotten stolen. Say he makes the pass. There's like 0.1, 0.2 seconds left. You can't get a shot off. Game's over. But no. You want to make sure, as much as possible, that everybody blames someone else. In 2016, it was Lance Stephenson's fault. It was CJ Miles' fault. I want to get traded. It's ownership's fault. The Thunder, it's not at all my fault that I scored 9 points in this playoff game. It's not at all my fault that we haven't made it out of the first round. Come on. It's not my fault. I'm an MVP candidate. Come on. It's not my fault. And now this. I left the Pacers because they didn't want to win. It's not my fault. It's management's fault. Here we go again. Shifting the blame. Again, don't believe me. Look it up. Look up all the times that he's just deflected and deflected and deflected. I'm not going to bring up what y'all think I'm going to bring up. You can search that up on your own time. And if you are wanting me to bring it up, then you already know what happened. I may stoop pretty low sometimes, but I'm not going to stoop that low. I may stoop so low as to make a joke about throwing people into a gulag. I may stoop so low as to accuse people of being on drugs when refereeing an NBA game. I may stoop so low to saying that LeBron is taking steroids. But I'm not going to stoop so low to insult someone's family. I'm not going to do that. If I've done it in the past, then I apologize for that. But anything else I've said in the past, I don't apologize for that. But I'm not going to mention that, if that's what you're wondering. No. I know Paul George isn't watching this. I just want Pacers fans to be informed, because when y'all try to say that it's management's fault, you don't look the smartest. Because it looks like you just don't understand how money works. I'm pretty sure that from a young age, when you were learning about money, You learn that you can't just make money appear out of thin air. You have to earn money. You have to get money. You have to make money. So if the Pacers didn't have enough room, couldn't afford him. So therefore, it's not that they didn't want to win. It's that they couldn't afford him. We were a playoff team. They're not going to try to tank. I'm going to end this video off with this. So Paul George, you said the best power forward in the league wants to come play here, and y'all can't make that work. Well, Paul, the best basketball fans in the whole entire NBA, the fans who are descendants of the fans who popularized basketball, they supported you through thick and thin, rain or shine. We didn't care. We supported you. Most of us. And we just wanted to win a chip in 2013. All you had to do is get 4 games up on them. All you had to do. Like, you're an MVP candidate. You can't make that work. You ain't trying to win. Also, you want the ball in your hands at all times. You want all the money, but you can't be a leader. Can't make that work. Just don't want to win.